how to play Venusian Vegas, the card game. I've given each player a track card with their 5 cubes set at the bottom. I've laid out the rank indicator card with the high wins side up, and I've put out the trump card with the chip, the white chip, going on the no trump space to start the round. I've already dealt out 7 cards to each player. They're face up here just for demo purposes. And then I've got our modifier chips over here in the supply. Each player will take a look at their hand and decide which 2 tracks they would like to increase. So maybe I'll start with an inspector, and I would take an inspector chip. And then for my second one, do a team, which immediately gives me 1 victory point, but it also immediately allows me to draw 2 cards. The other players would do something similar. I'm going to give them just a couple of random increases just to make this go a little quicker. Red and orange, or green and orange for them. Okay, so then we would start playing the game. And the game plays generally like a standard must-follow trick taker. So somebody's going to lead a card, and then everybody else has to play the same suited card if they have it. If they don't have it, then they can play anything. To start the game, there is no trump, as we can see here on the trump indicator card, but it could be set to one of these colors by using a blue chip eventually. The rank always starts with high card winning, meaning a 13 would beat a 1. However, these black inspector chips can be used later in the game to flip the card so that it reverses the rank. At the beginning of every round, you will flip this back and you will put this back on no trump. Once you've determined who's going to be the starting player, that player will lead a card. Maybe I go with my green 10, come over to here. This player would likely play their 13. And then this player does not have any green. So this might be a good opportunity for them to use their game modifier to set the trump suit. They would probably want it to set it to orange. And so they would play their card and play their indicator chip on top of that card and identify that they are changing the trump suit to orange. They have now won the trick, so we can discard this chip. As the winner, they get to choose a bonus from one of the other players' cards that were played into the trick. So in this case, the other 2 players, myself and the player across from me, have both played a bonus that is the same, increasing the mobster track. So in this case, the player that won the trick, their only option is to increase their mobster track. They do not gain a mobster immediately. That will be part of income in subsequent rounds. So that would end the trick. They've won the trick. You can just discard these cards because tricks do not matter at the end of the round. So then this player that just won the trick would lead. Let's just say that they go with this purple 7. My only option now is to play a 1 or a 2. So this might be a good opportunity for me to play my 1 with my inspector, flipping the rank to low wins. So currently I'm in the lead. It comes over to the third player here. Now they do not have a purple, so they cannot follow suit. They also don't have an orange, so they can't trump it either. So they're kind of just going to have to throw away a card. Maybe this black 6 as such. And maybe they'll play their green mobster chip at this point. I've won the trick because I played the lowest ranked card in the suit that was led without there being any trump played. So I get to pick either drawing a card or forcing my opponents to discard a card. So let's say I force them to discard a card. They may discard this one. They may discard this one. Then that was the end of that for me. But they still have the mobster. So they may decide, well, I'll take the 1 because 1s are good right now as the card that they will snatch. Now I won the trick, so I may go with black 4. Opponent across from me says, oh, I can beat that. I've got a 3, and I'm also going to go ahead and put my bot token modifier on there. This third player has to follow suit. They cannot play their trump yet because they do have a card. So they play their 7. The lowest card, in this case, wins. So this player is going to get a bonus. And then after that, because they played the bot, they're going to get a second bonus. So they can either gain 2 victory points or force us to discard a card. and then they can do it again. They can do 2 of one or 1 of each, their choice. I think they're going to decide to discard 2 cards. So it probably is going to be something like this, so that they can keep their 1 trump card. I'm going to try to keep my trump cards as well. I know my 2's a loser, so I'll dump that. This other high black card. And then we discard card. And then this player who won the trick leads again. Maybe they'll lead with the purple 1. This player is going to play their 8. It's a trump card, which is good for them. Play my blue 10. So this player wins the trick, decide to increase their game track by 1. And then we discard the cards. Now, they won the trick, so they would generally lead the next trick. But since they're out of cards, it rotates to the left, which would be for me. I'm going to try to see if there's any trump left out there. I'm going to try to pull it with a 13. This player doesn't have any of those, so they're going to throw away their black 12. So I will get to increase my inspectors by 1. And then I lead again. I know he doesn't have any trump, so maybe I'll go with the blue 3. He has to follow. I won because I'm lower. I will get to increase my games. And I won again. I will play my card. They play their card. So I get to gain 2 victory points. And then that would be the end of the round, because now all players are without cards at the end of the round. Had one of us still had cards remaining, the player with cards remaining would get to take all the cards that are still in their hand and gain the bottom bonus of each card. But since we both finished at the same time, neither of us will gain any end round bonuses. That would be the end of the round. We would take all of these cards, shuffle them. We would flip this back to high. We would move this back to no trump. We would all gain our income. So in this case, I would be drawing 9 cards, getting 1 game, 2 inspectors. This player would be getting 2 games, 1 inspector, 1 mobster. And this player would be getting 1 bot and 1 mobster. I didn't use anything for keeping track of victory points. I should have. But at this point, whoever has the lowest combination of victory points and track increases would gain an immediate track increase for free. I'm pretty sure it would have been this player. So maybe they would go for a game. So they would actually get a game, a bot, and a mobster instead of just a bot and a mobster. Then we would shuffle, deal, and continue playing the game. We'd keep playing until we get to the end of the 4th round. Or in a 2-player game, it would be the end of the 3rd round. Whoever has the most victory points at that point in time is the winner. If there's a tie, you would add up the most track increases, and whoever has the most combined track increases would be the winner for that tiebreaker. But if it's still tied at that point, then it's just a shared victory. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy this game of mine, Venusian Vegas, the card game. Thank you.